So relationships and psychology related to relationships are a bit of an obsession for me. I've said that before. And, again, I've also said this before, that one thing that they often bring up is that how we function in relationships today is often based on our relationships with our parents. And so I guess I will say that my father, first of all, my parents split pretty early. And my father also went to prison when I was quite young, and he went to prison because he was sexually abusive. And in general, my relationships have been not quite good. I'm very uncomfortable about sex, and I'm autistic, pretty sure. I mean, I got diagnosed. Sometimes I doubt it, but I'm not super good with socializing, and I have the extra weirdism. It's I don't even get along with other autistics. I like cannibalism and watching people die. But I guess the big thing that I wanted to talk about here is obsessiveness. I'm finally ready to admit that I am pretty obsessive, and it's something that I've made other people think that I'm a freak. I don't want to say that I'm a freak, and I guess I want to be open about this sort of thing because honestly, if I was considering dating somebody and they told me that they were obsessive like this, I would just feel so relieved. I would feel relieved to think that I'm going to be understood and that I can, is talking about how you feel about people when you have these tendencies is so fucking frightening. And it's a relief to be like, oh yeah, no, I'm like that too. There is a very large stigma around obsessiveness, and while I don't totally think it's bad for people to consider that to be a bad thing, I also think that it's hard on the people that feel that way. It's not like it's really intentional. But yeah, I'm confessing to thinking about people all the time and overanalyzing every single thing that they do, to try and figure out whether they are or are not interested in me, and having friends where that is all I talk to them about all the time, and just alienating those friends who tell me I'm a freak. It's definitely not normal, but it's okay, and it's not something that I want to judge people for. The person with the obsession is almost certainly hurting way more than the person being obsessed over. I just want somebody to be obsessed with me. But then I want it to be healthy too. There's nothing wrong with being obsessed. The only reason I feel bad about it is because I keep obsessing over people that have never felt the same way, and that just don't understand, and that just think that it's fucking weird and freaky. I'm admitting that I have unmet social and romantic needs that are probably leading to me thinking like this, but, that's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing wrong with it. So, since I guess, I'm over here saying that being obsessed with somebody is nothing to be ashamed of, I guess I'll go ahead and admit that, yeah, I am kind of obsessed with somebody. And I don't really know how to say that. I'm kind of afraid to express that. I feel like I'm willing to admit that I'm obsessed with somebody. But expressing that to them is, at least for the moment, something that's a bit farther than where I'm willing to go. I wish that I could go there someday at some point, because I don't just want to be obsessed forever. I really would like to, really, I'd like to be able to, have a normal day again. I'd like to be able to, do stuff without constantly being anxious. I'd like to be able to read my books and stuff. But I don't, want to totally get away. And I'm willing to deal with some pain and anxiety. I've been through this rodeo many times before, and I can't say that I regret it any time that I've done it. It is what it is. A lot of people do it. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good. A lot of people do a lot of bad things, but yeah, it's can't be helped. Even the it's not so much that I'm scared to admit to being obsessed, it's just I don't know if it's right or okay for me to do so, because I know that that can be, really distressing for the other person involved. But, everybody has their negative points, just people who are, we have really positive view of. It's probably just the case that we just aren't aware of the negative side of them. And, it's better, at least in my case, I'd like to be able to say that all my negative things are things that people know about. I'm obsessed with somebody. They don't really live nearby. I don't really know them all that well, and my life is largely dominated by anxiety. It's not totally dominated, I still do other stuff that I enjoy, but anxiety has become a large part of my life.